let's say uh, a person is in a relationship. Okay, I'm just giving an example because a person messaged me last week and this was their issue. Okay, so the person messaged and said, I'm in a relationship, I'm very happy, I love my partner, but then um, apparently I was in a previous relationship, and so I'm with my partner, everything's going well, and suddenly I had the desire to contact the previous partner I had. So this person had got a divorce, started another relationship. The new relationship is going amazingly. They love each other. But one day, this person experiences a very strong desire, like misses the previous partner and wants to contact them. So he was like, what do I do? And of course, they asked me this after that event, so they'd already done. I said, see, the first thing is to make sure we turn desires from compulsive to conscious. Many people, they don't even give themselves the time to think what I should be doing. As soon as the desire comes, it is followed by certain actions. Now, there may have certain boundaries on how far those actions go, right? But it immediately starts. So, for example, one of the things that this person did, it went on Facebook, started checking the Facebook of the previous partner. And of course, this is still one, he still didn't cross a boundary. He said, I didn't speak to them. But this part of it, that the desire came and this person immediately went on Facebook and checked the page of the previous partner. This part of it was compulsive. And so when I say try to turn your desires from compulsive to conscious, this is exactly why. So that if you're in a situation, you can decide whether you want to follow this desire or not. Right? Because a lot of us, we are on autopilot. A desire comes, we follow it till we hit, for example, a red line. Either we pass it or we stop somewhere. But all the way till then we go. Now, even if, for example, we don't go on their Facebook, we may think about that. Or you know what I mean? So when I say make your desire conscious is this. The desire came, don't get lost, be there. Look, I'm here. I should decide whether I want to do this or not. And you can't do that right away on the spot. No, you should have had a lot of experience, a lot of practice with other things. Otherwise, if you don't practice with smaller things, you wouldn't even remember any of this when that desire comes. But when you've had enough practice, you're conscious. Desire comes, you're like, okay, this desire came. Do I want to act upon it or not? And then you think, you're like, you know what? It would be so fun because right now I miss my previous partner. So it would have been fun to talk to them. But I'm in a new relationship. I love my new partner. I respect them. This relationship is much more precious to me. So I will choose, even though this would have been fun to pursue, but I am conscious. My desires are not compulsive. So I'm not going to throw my life force over that. I'll hold it and throw it into my own relationship. Right? But you can only do that if you have had practice in easier things to turn your desires from compulsive to conscious. And now there are a few things which can help with this to make this process easier. One of them is that don't have guilt. You didn't bring this desire. Because guilt would just make everything nasty, would just make everything messy, would make everything difficult. You didn't want to have this desire. Out of nowhere it came. At least in this person who messaged me, he said, I woke up and I had the desire. So okay, don't feel guilty. If you make it feel guilty, it's just going to get very difficult to handle with. Say, okay, this desire is there. Very well. It's there. But I choose what to do. And I'm not going to throw my life force there. I'm going to throw it somewhere else. It's the first thing that can help you. Second thing that can help you, and I actually wanted to mention this in one of the posts, is that understand where is the source of desire. Okay? This would help you a lot in your life. Now, this example may not be relevant to your life, the one I just discussed, but there are so many times in life where we have a desire which doesn't make sense to us, okay? Especially if it's a desire for something that we think morally is wrong, okay? A few weeks ago, I had a person telling me that they were in a great relationship, but they suddenly felt attracted to another person. They still love their partner, but they just didn't know what is this attraction and desire they have suddenly for this other person, and it was so strong. Now, I explained to them what is the source of this. I said it doesn't mean there's anything wrong with your relationship. No, the reason for this is this and that. I explained it to them. But sometimes if you don't know what's happening to you, you may interpret your desires wrong. You may think there's something wrong with your relationship, or you may think that you're a bad person, right? But I explained it to them that no, sometimes the only reason you feel for a short time an attraction to someone else is that you see in them something that you need in your life to have. It doesn't mean that you need to be with this person. No, this person is just a mirror that tells you something about yourself. It doesn't mean your current relationship is bad. It doesn't mean you're a bad person. No. The reason you're feeling attracted to this person for a short while right now is just that they have a quality. It's a mirror. They have a quality that you need to gain in your life. You don't need to be with this person. Your relationship is perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with you, with your relationship, nothing. Continue with your relationship. All this attraction means is that there's something maybe you need to gain, right? So in that example, that's what it was. So when a desire like this happens, which you feel like it's very confusing what's happening, don't get scared, don't panic, try to understand it. If you don't know how, if you can't interpret it, talk to someone. There are people who can help you with that, okay? So that's another way to make sure that problem doesn't happen to us. Understand, what does your desire mean? Usually, they try to communicate with you. They're trying to tell you something. And if you know the message, you wouldn't get despaired. So in the case of that person who said, suddenly I remembered my previous partner, I spoke to him. I said, okay, tell me about it. What was the situation? Have you been thinking about it? What was the situation? And I realized the reason actually that he remembered the previous partner was that this was the last stage of letting go, right? Because he had been with this new partner. They were having a great relationship. So slowly, he was letting go of the previous relationship. But there was parts of it which was subconscious. So it came up, it became conscious so that he could let go of the last part of it as well and be fully there, fully available to the new partner. So the old reason he felt like he needs to communicate was this. It was actually the last stage of letting go of the previous partner and to be fully available for the new partner. But because he didn't know this, he was interpreting it completely wrong, and he may have made a huge mistake if he had communicated or contacted or, said something which was so difficult to go back, right? So a lot of the times it's very important to be able to interpret, what does this desire mean right now? It may be the complete opposite of what you're perceiving it. So it's very important to talk to someone or to get help if you don't understand what your desire is trying to do. So 2 tips. Be conscious. Don't allow it to be compulsive. Second, understand what is your desire trying to communicate with you. A lot of the times it could be the opposite of what you interpreted it to be.